These companies these days, they will drop you like a bad habit and just find somebody else to chuck into your place. I want to talk about these jobs, man. These jobs that everybody is chasing. Look, I understand all of y'all come to this channel and y'all want to learn about tech. You want some tech advice. You want to get certified so you can go get you a job. But you guys got to remember, especially those of you who are young and you don't have really much work experience at all, because, you know, there is a lot of young people that watch me. You guys got to remember that these companies, they don't love you. They don't really show any loyalty to you. So you shouldn't be putting your all into them in terms of being blindly loyal. I'll put it that way, because these companies these days, they will drop you like a bad habit and just find somebody else to chuck into your place. I mean, that's just kind of how it is in this world. You know, long gone are the days where the company is just celebrating you as the greatest thing since sliced bread and you're celebrating them like the greatest thing since sliced bread. Nah, it's a cutthroat world out there, and these companies, they will drop you regardless of how much experience and value that you think you bring. If your experience and value doesn't align with their bottom line and overall objectives, these companies will get rid of you. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I want to talk about my man Before the Billions. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen here. There's a YouTuber out there that I've done some videos with, or at least I was a guest on his show once upon a time. And he posted a video this morning that I was checking out on my way to work, working for the man out there tap dancing and just doing the damn thing. Let me find the video. Where's it at? Before the Billions, this young brother out of the ATL, Atlanta, Georgia, he got laid off. And I guess he's documenting his experience, and now he's going to try to, you know, take this YouTube thing a little bit more serious in order to develop some side income or something like that, which, you know, I think is probably the right thing to do. And I just want this to kind of be a lesson to all you youngins who are about to get your life started. Those of y'all who are graduating high school, graduating college, coming up, and you're like, hey, I got all my education, I got my certs, I got my skills, I'm finna just go out there and just take over the world. I want you to go out there and take over the world, but I also want you to enter the world knowing that these companies do not love you the way that you think they should be loving you. You know, they will hire you, treat you like a rock star, and then cut you loose like they never even knew your ass, right? That's just how the business world operates. Anyways, I want to play my man Before the Billions, you know, just kind of see what he out here yapping about as it relates to his unfortunate termination, or being laid off, I should say, because there is a difference between being laid off and terminated. I think he got laid off. Matter of fact, it says it right there in the title. I was laid off as a data engineer. This brother's a data engineer and got laid off, man. Shout out to Before the Billions. Y'all go sub to this young man. We can help this brother get monetized on YouTube so that he can become YouTube rich out in these streets, man. So let's get it.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is William from Before the Billions, back with another video. So as you guys can tell by today's title, no, this is not a April Fool's joke, but I have been laid off as of April 1st, ironically. So I wanted to make this video because the video that really kicked off the Before the Billions channel was a video that I have titled, I was laid off as a software developer. And I came out with that video back in 2020. The reason I made that video is because it happened out of nowhere. I thought that things were going to be going well at that time. Back in 2020, I was on a 6-month contract with Home Depot. And it was supposed to go from 6 months into a full-time position. And everybody assured me that, hey, you're going to be going, and no matter what, everybody pretty much gets hired on after the 6 months. They may extend you for a little bit longer, but if the budget allows, they'll keep you on and you'll get put on full-time. That didn't happen for me, but other people also left the team. So it didn't feel like I got singled out, but it did make me feel the way because I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be having a future here at this company.
First thing he says, he was working a contract for Home Depot. All right, so you youngins out there who've never worked, you guys got to understand how these contracts work. Contracts sound like what they sound like. You're being hired for X amount of time to perform a certain duty. And then, you know, after that, either your contract ends or hopefully you'll get hired. Now, the thing about a lot of these contract jobs is that while you're working these contract jobs, oftentimes the employer will make these promises of hiring you on. If you go out there and do a well enough job, there's a potential for you to get hired full time. Listen, yes, you can get hired, but there's a lot of instances where a lot of people don't get hired, but they get made the promise of full-time employment. If you find yourself in these contract positions, they could be lucrative depending upon what you do. As a matter of fact, when I was talking to, for those of y'all who saw the videos, where I was talking to one of my former students, the one that went from $0 to $100,000 in like 2 or 3 years, I believe right now he is a contract worker. He works there for about 6 months, 12 months, or however long his contract is. And then he chucks deuces, picks up the next contract, and goes about his merry little way. When I was in Afghanistan, I used to work with a bunch of contract workers over there. There are pros and cons to working contract jobs. The pros are basically you're getting paid X amount of money to do a certain job for a certain amount of time. And then you are free to go about your business. The cons are you're getting paid X amount of money to work a certain amount of time. And then you are free to go about your business hoping you can pick up another contract. Now, if you're a good enough employee, chances are you shouldn't have any issues picking up another contract. As a matter of fact, I don't know too many people that have actually struggled in the contracting world to where they left one contract and went to another like it wasn't nothing. But the downside, aside from that, is that, you're not hired full time. Also, you may or may not qualify for any type of benefits from the program, from the employer, like healthcare benefits, retirement benefits, or 401ks and all of that stuff. So you're kind of out there on your own to kind of figure out your own finances, and hope and pray that, you don't mess around and get sick and have to end up in the hospital and pay your hospital bills. So there are pros and cons to it. If I had to do it all over again, as a matter of fact, when I was actually getting out of the Army, I was thinking about actually becoming a contractor back in Afghanistan because of the ridiculous amounts of money that they were paying. One of the contract jobs I was looking at the time was offering $250,000 a year to go over there and do 12 months worth of work in the combat zone, dealing with the Taliban and all that crap, a place I had just left as a U.S. Army serviceman, just to go over there and work. But, came back home, talked it over with the wife, and she was like, nah, B, we done with the deployments. I've been over to the desert enough. So I didn't do that. But I kind of wish I did, because I would have made enough money. Here's my thing. If I had went back over there after Afghanistan, I predict I probably would have tried to do about 2 or 3 straight years over there. I would have made so much money, I would have been able to pay my house off in cash. That was the vision I had. But, the wife was like, nah, B, bring your ass back on home. So I came back home. But anyway, so those are some of the pros and cons. I mean, obviously there are more pros and cons, but I think the biggest one is the quote unquote flexibility of not being locked into a company where you just, like I say, you just sign up, or not sign up, but you get hired on and you work X amount of time, collect your check. And then after your work is done and your contract's completed, you chuck deuces and go on to something better. And chances are there's going to be something equally great or even better than what, the current contract that you were working.
And I did not, after going through a lot of interviews to be able to get the job. So fast forward to when I got my very next job, which was at Ronstadt USA. I have been working there for over 4 years, and I quite enjoyed my team, and I enjoyed the opportunities that it's been able to allow me. And I am still thankful for a lot of the things that I have experienced over these 4 years working at Ronstadt. So if you guys don't know, when I got laid off from my previous job, it kickstarted the channel. But now that I'm getting laid off again, I have a more of a drive to be able to make more videos on YouTube and to have a little bit more of an entrepreneurial spirit. I do want to go ahead and find another position as well, but I do see how it is important to be able to have something on the side so that way you can make more money while you're pretty much not making money that would allow you to be able to take care of your bills. I used to be monetized on YouTube, and YouTube took away my monetization. And then now what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and get my YouTube channel back started again to where I can make some more content, get some more views and subscribers. And then hopefully within the near future, I'll be able to get monetized again to kind of help out with this transition period.
I always tell y'all, you got to have something going on the side to bring in extra income, because these jobs, they don't love you. No matter how you feel about your job, how great you think your job is going, you can be laid off at any time because you don't own the company you work for. So with that being said, you all out there, and it doesn't matter if you're young or old, you all need to be going out there trying to figure out how can you create additional income in your life, whether it's through a side business, a side hustle, or, whatever it is that you feel like you got to do. OnlyFans, I don't care. You got to go out there and do what you got to do. And YouTube is one of those things that I personally think is one of the easiest. Well, let me back that up. YouTube is one of those things that is quote unquote one of the easiest things that you can possibly do to try to generate extra income. Now, what do I mean? Now, I don't want y'all to get this mistaken and thinking that the moment you go out there and start a YouTube channel, next thing you know, you're going to go viral and you're just going to have hundreds of thousands of views and everybody's going to love you and treat you like you're a freaking Mr. Beast or something like that. That's probably not going to happen. But I'm saying that it's quote unquote easy because I always tell people, if you know a lot about a subject or you're very good at something, why not start a YouTube channel? Make a couple videos, grow that thing, put your time in, grow that channel. Potentially that channel could turn into a cash cow, depending upon the type of content you do. I'll put it that way. But that thing could turn into a cash cow for you potentially, or it can create other opportunities for you to derive other types of income that don't necessarily require you to have to rely strictly upon AdSense, super chats, and all that. But the whole point is, regardless of what you're doing, you need to be coming up with additional sources of income for the event that you get laid off, you get fired, whatever the case may be, because you just never know. We don't live in this world where you can go work for a company 20, 30 years, outside of the military, but you go work for a company 20, 30 years, and then you get your retirement check and your Rolex watch and your picture hung on the wall for doing 25, 30 years worth of service. Now these companies will let you go. What you need to be doing is figure out how can you create additional streams of income in the event that you find yourself in this unfortunate predicament of being laid off or fired, so that you have money stashed in the cut so that hopefully you can maintain your lifestyle until you find another source of employment, or your side business, side hustle, whatever you got going on, your YouTube channel picks up and starts making enough money to where you can develop essentially what's called FU money. FU money, I'm not going to say the curse word on here, but FU money is basically money that you have in the cut in the event that you don't like something going on at your main job. You can tell your main job FU because you got enough money stashed over here to where you can kind of go do what you want to do. So these are some things that you guys need to think about, especially you youngins. Like I say, there's a lot of high school kids who watch my channel, and it's a lot of people in college who have never worked a job who watch my channel. And you guys send me messages all the time. So you guys haven't officially entered the workforce, and some of y'all are about to graduate high school and or college, and you're thinking that the world is just going to open its arms up to you and just accept you. I mean, that might possibly happen, but reality is these companies don't love you. There is no loyalty. They don't like something you're doing, or you work in one of those states where they can just fire you at will or whatever the case may be, then you might be out there on them streets just bucket naked asking people for money. So you need to figure out how can you develop additional streams of money so you can put money away or use that money to invest in something, another business or whatever, however you feel like generating income, so you don't find yourself strictly dependent upon one source of income. In the year 2024 and moving beyond, having just one source of income is a futile endeavor. You need to have at least the bare minimum 2 sources of income coming in, and they don't necessarily have to be even. Like, let's just say your job's paying you $75,000. I'm not saying that you got to have a side business paying you $75,000, although that would be great. Even if you're just generating an extra $1,000 a month in side income, $12,000 a year, you need to have something that's building, because you're risking your livelihood. You're risking your sanity if you think that you're going to be able to survive and thrive strictly off of one income, and that income is going to always be there for you, because it may not. Go out there, start something up, man. If you can't afford to start up a regular business because of all the expenses associated with it, start a YouTube channel. Put some work into that thing, and that thing might blow up.
With that being said, guys, I do fully appreciate all of the BTB squad. I really would not be here without you guys, with your consistent support. Especially, I want to give a huge shout out to the networkers as well in my Discord chat. I thank you guys so much for coming in, joining the voice chats and speaking with me, giving me advice, and also listening to the advice that I can give as well based off of my experience as a data engineer. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody else who watches my videos, interacts with me, and also all the people who may have helped me out in the past, especially when I set up my BTB meetup event as well. I just want to give all my thank yous to everybody. Another thing I want to say is that I am looking forward to actually partnering with other organizations as well. So I just had a meeting earlier today, and I have not solidified anything yet, but I have got some inquiries into the Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurs over there by Morehouse College or Morehouse University. And with that, I have actually spoken to the team over there and have planned on setting up some time for me to go ahead and film some content over there. So that would help with increasing the value and the production value of these videos and the channel. So please go ahead and look forward to it. I'm expecting to have guests to be sitting in person with me in a studio setting, as you may see on many other podcasts as well, because I am trying to go ahead and start taking Before the Billions a lot more seriously. I've been doing Before the Billions. I had my LLC for about 3 years now. I've been making content since 2020. It's 2024 right now, but I got my LLC in 2021 for Before the Billions LLC. So that's my contribution to trying to make this more of a serious venture into content creation, into helping out the community. Overall, Before the Billions is a tech channel where I am discussing not only my own experiences, reacting to content that I may see that I feel passionate about, but then also I would love to have other guests come on and we have discussions about tech related things or things relating to the economy that kind of come from innovations within technology.
So that's our man's Before the Billions. All right, y'all go ahead and get his brother a subscribe. Tech creator, friend of the channel, young man out in Atlanta, lost his job, laid off, or whatever the case may be. I just want to play that real quick. Like I said at the opening of this video, these companies don't love you. You got to always be on the lookout for numero uno so that you can be prepared as best as you can in the event that these companies cut you loose. And it doesn't matter how talented you are, how likable you are, how skilled up you are. If a company feels like your contribution isn't meeting the needs of the bottom line, they will cut you loose. But the things you need to do to prepare for that, you guys need to go out there and figure out a way to generate extra income. Take whatever knowledge and skill sets you have and go out there and start a business, a side business doing it. Like I said earlier, if you can't afford all of the expenses associated with starting a side business, the least you can do is start a YouTube channel talking about your skill sets. You all will be amazed as to how many channels out there have large audiences and are making decent income, not just off AdSense, but off affiliate links and products and services that they sell just because a person is talking about their skill set. I'm subscribed to this one particular YouTuber. This person is a teacher, and I don't even know how I came across this person's channel, but they've turned they were a high school teacher or a middle school teacher or something like that, and they turned this thing into a YouTube channel that generates probably like $200,000 a year. These are just things that you guys should think about. Now, I don't want to turn this into a stream on trying to teach you guys how to become YouTubers. That's not what this is about. The reason why I'm mentioning YouTube is because this is a quote unquote easy way to begin the process of trying to develop an additional stream of income so that hopefully you can offset that against the potential for you being laid off. But it's not just about YouTube. You know, if you got some side hustle, you cut hair, you wash cars, or even if you took your tech skills and found a way to turn it into a side. Matter of fact, I got a coworker that does this. What he does, he goes around fixing laptops in his spare time. Like people got their old little laptops. Instead of them taking it to the Geek Squad, they'll come pay him $50 to $100. He'll fix their laptop, revamp it, bring that thing back to life, especially if it's an older laptop. And that's how he makes additional incomes to do whatever it is that he does. And he makes, from my understanding, he makes a pretty decent income because every time I see him, he has a brand new laptop that he's tinkering on. I don't know where these things are coming from, but they're all finding their way to him. So these are just things for you all to think about as you guys go out there and get a job. Just remember, these jobs will cut you off. So you need to be coming up with additional streams of income to support your lifestyle and your dreams and goals. All right. So shout out to my man Before the Billions. If y'all want to get his brother subscribe, go ahead and subscribe to him.